lesson, we'll discuss a level challenge. Now, we won't bother creating content. The content is already provided. So here we have, this is something related to coding time. The content relates to a CPA firm. And it's essentially all the things that we need to know about properly coding time. For this lesson, the focus is on gates. So if we look at the flow, we'll see that there's content, and then we come into a gate. After the gate, we have level 1 content. And that's a presentation of content plus questions, and these are just question widgets. This is a multiple choice widget. If we click on one, we can see the editing tool for widgets. So we have a sequence, and then we have another gate. So this is level 2 gate. And essentially the goal is for the learners to achieve 80% or higher before moving on to level 2 content. And so here we have level 2 content. Then, of course, questions. And if the learner achieved 80% or higher at level 3, they would then reach the report page. So an introduction, a level 1 gate, a level 2 gate, and then a level 3 gate. We can also see that under branches here. So we take a look. We can see that there's content. We hit that first gate. I'll make this a little larger. Hit that first gate, we get level 1 content, including questions. So we have some questions, and we have a level 2 gate with content, and a level 3 gate. And the only purpose of level 3 here is to report on performance. Now we also have a couple of other things thrown in. One is we have this animation that's out of the flow. And what that means, so here's an animation. This is the animation one would see if they failed level 1. Get this frown and message, you did not score 80%. When they click on the next button, they hit the gate, and then the gate causes them to move on to level 1 content. Now this content here is removed from the flow. So when a user goes from final tips, they go directly into the gate rather than seeing this content. They only see this content if they've been branched to this content. In other words, if they failed level 1. Now, how is the gate set up? So we have a gate, and we're allowing, in this case, allowing student to pass regardless of score. So we also can put a 0. This would work by itself, but I tend to put a 0 in this field. Now the pass, what would you imagine the pass option to be? If I click on it, is that what you guessed? It's simply causing us to go to the next page. And we don't need a fail option at all, because everybody is going to be able to go into level 1. They don't have to exceed a score threshold. And here's level 1 content. Now, if we have a series of questions. And then we run into level 2 gate. And level 2 gate resets the questions. So this is checked off. You have to remember to do this. Because essentially, if we do not get 80% or higher, we're going down this fail branch. And so we want to be able to redo the questions. The learner needs to redo the questions. That's why this needs to be reset. You do not need to reset the score, just the questions. And this relates to once a learner answers a question, it's locked. So they're not able to immediately answer. So if let's just take a look at that, then we'll return to this gate, level 2 gate. So I'm going to play the content and we'll see final tips. We passed through the gate because it automatically connected us to this level 1 screen. And now if we answer a question, if we just select an answer and submit the answer, we're incorrect and this is locked. We can't answer anymore until we pass through that gate. So we pass through the gate. It branches us to the animation that shows that we did not score 80%. Remember, that was removed from the flow. We then go through the gate to level 1, and that question is reset for us. So that's precisely what reset questions does. Now, if we earned 80% or higher, then we're jumping to the page to red smile. So we'll look at that, and then we show a quick message for 2 seconds. Click on show feedback, so check that off. A message that we're displaying for 2 seconds. So that's the pass. The fail is we go to red frown. We're going back to that animation that was out of the flow, but it will be displayed now because we're branching to it. And here's that red frown level 2. And this is removed from the flow. And this is the smile. So we're able to basically our gate. If we look at our passing gate, it's taking us to red smile. So it's skipping this. We're not seeing the frown. We're seeing the smile. And we're given the instruction, click next button to move on to level 2. And there's level 2 content. So here we go. Again, in the level 3 gate, so the gate is preventing us from just automatically getting to level 3, which is essentially reporting our score. That's all that happens in level 3. So we have to do the same thing, reset questions. We set a threshold 80, and be sure this is marked off. We're referring to this as not 80 points, but a percentage of 80. Our pass, so imagine what our pass will look like now. What do you anticipate? Well, we are jumping to a page and we're jumping to the red smile for level 3, which is out of the flow, but will display because we've branched to it. We're also showing feedback, moving on for 2 seconds. So we show this feedback for 2 seconds. So essentially, we're getting to this red smile for level 3. There's no red frown because once we're in level 3, we simply report our score. Now, what do you anticipate the fail to be? Red's frown, level 2. So we're jumping to that page and we're providing a message. So we're causing, if we take a look at that, now pay attention to these page IDs. So there's there's red frown level 2. So we've reset the score and we started level 2 over again. And then finally, in level 3, we add a report page. You can see that. Now there is an addition. We have, if we take a look, right after the gate, so level 3 gate, we do have a wall. And the purpose of the wall is to prevent us from navigating backwards. So this wall stops us. If we take a look at branches, that might explain this a little more clearly. So we have level 1, and we're not really concerned about a wall here. We have our questions. And then we've set up a wall right after level 2 gate. So we have our questions, we run into level 2 gate. If we succeeded, you can see the branch here. We're going all the way to red smile. Now, once we've displayed red smile in our level 2, we can go backwards. So we can go from situation 3 to situation 1 back to the title page for level 2, but these are out of the flow, so we don't display that when we navigate. We hit the wall, so we don't move from level 2 to question 10 because there's a wall in the way. Then we have all of our questions for level 2. We hit the gate. If we did not succeed, we branch to level 2 frown. If we succeeded, we go to the smile for level 3. Now let's review the setup of a gate one more time. Let's go to level 1. The level 1 gate was simply allowing students to pass through. It would not have hurt for us to reset questions here. That would have been fine. We're simply going to the next page, and our failure, there's nothing there. Okay, let's move on. We've gone through all the content. Here's our level 2 gate. We've reset the questions. We set a threshold of 80%. We use percentage. Our pass, we're going on to red's smile. Our fail, we're going to red's frown at the beginning of level 1. Here's red's smile. Here's level 2. And then in level 3, we again reset the questions. We set a threshold of 80. Our pass branch is going to the smile for level 3. And of course, if we didn't get 80, we go down the fail branch, and that's red's frown for level 2. So I'll answer questions incorrectly. Here we are, we've passed through the gate into level 1. I'll answer this correctly, this one. Here we're correct, but I'll answer these incorrectly. So I'm not going to get 80%. And if I skip over questions, they're counted as wrong. There's our message. Sorry, resetting level 1 takes us to the frown. You did not score 80%. And all of those questions have now been reset, so we can go ahead and re-answer them. So that concludes our walkthrough. That concludes our explanation of how to create a leveled challenge. Essentially, we're making a game out of it, in that you need to answer questions correctly in order to level up. Thanks so much for watching.